joined today by Robert Kirtlan, Executive Chairman of Renegade. Robert, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Your strategy is very clear: acquire, advance, drill, monetize. You've done it multiple times. Can you talk to the strategy and how it adds value for shareholders?
I guess in the junior, the way to summarise it is in the junior mining space, you can get tied up on assets for too long, too much drilling. Sometimes it just is what it is. In fact, I'd say most of the time it is what it is. So we've developed this over sort of my career doing this for 25, 30 odd years, where I've always into selling assets. So if we're done with it and we've got a willing buyer, I'm always a willing seller. And of course, what that allows us to do is we generate capital out of that, and then we can put that into new projects and have yet another goal. Because at the end of the day, we're always looking for the big one.
And importantly, it's not just words on a page, it's a strategy that you have rolled out repeatedly.
Well, in Renegade in particular, we've done it twice. So we had an asset in WA, which we called the Yandal East project. We ended up putting our ground together with the Strickland play over there, which worked very well for us, generated several $1 million, funded us for a good couple of years. And it actually allowed us to get into the Carpentaria Joint Venture up in Cloncurry in the Mount Isa area.
And you've just done it again with Mongoose.
That's right. So 3 years later, that deposit was always sitting there. We spent money on it, worked it up, and then got to a point where it belongs with True North, to be frank. We were always trying to get our partners who are Glencore in that joint venture to move along, but eventually we cut a deal with True North for them to take us out of the joint venture. And again, it's a several $1 million deal, and it allows us to move on to our next projects, and with a bit of luck, the shareholders won't suffer too much dilution.
And what is next?
The focus is pretty much North America at the moment. We moved in there last year, sort of mid-year. We probably started cutting the deal there in March, April, closed it in June. So we acquired properties in Nevada reasonably cheaply, I think. In fact, very cheaply in hindsight. And we have a legacy asset, which we sort of inherited up in the Yukon, which is sort of having a new life, we think. So fundamentally, Yukon is a massive target. We're next door to the Snowline Gold Discovery, which is 10 million ounces. They also, that family that's behind that, happen to be our partners. So we're working with them at the moment on figuring out how we fund that cleverly, get the whole project moving. They're keen to do it. So sort of watch that space as we move along that pathway. And on Nevada, we've got two, we think, great targets to work on there, in particular Caisson, we would rank that highest, and that's where we'll be applying. We're on the ground there now doing sort of field work. We'll do some IP, but we do have some great numbers coming out of that, and we think that's probably our best target at the moment.
And looking over the next 6 to 12 months, what should investors focus on out of Renegade?
So we're looking so everybody's going to say, when you're drilling, that's the question I get asked most. So we're looking probably at drilling in Q3, Q4, which is not that far away, but it might be the back end of Q3. So one of the problems in the US at the moment is access to rigs. I'm very confident we have that access. Same in the Yukon, because you've got a limited field season there. So any drilling there would be the back end of the season. So more pushing into October, perhaps even November. But again, I think with our partners up there that we can maybe make that happen. But I think certainly Nevada will be looking to be drilling there around September. So
a very clear strategy that has already achieved results for shareholders. Exciting times ahead for Renegade and its shareholders. Robert, thanks for your time.
Thank you.